Hello, Mariana. Hello, everyone. N-
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to have you here. There. I will show myself for a minute as well. Nice to see you. And let's switch the cameras again. Hello, Mariana, and your beautiful dog. So we will start now, probably. Yes, we will. So I
Very
will,
well.
I will switch the camera off and let's start. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the next Power of Touch. I am sure other people will join as well. And this is the recorded event. So I am happy that we can talk about the next term today. And the term today is awareness. And because I have you first, Charito, please close your eyes and let me know if you hear the term awareness, what came first to your mind?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So when I close my eyes, when you and think of awareness, it's like waking up, knowing. It's a realization of something new or different. It's an awareness of my realities and my shortcomings. And I'm aware of the world. I'm aware that I'm alive. Knowing awareness is knowing. You just with or without you know being intentional about it, but when you are aware, about something, and so when you are aware and you're asked about it, you can always enumerate them. And I am aware that tonight is, and this year is a year of expectations, and it's a year where I think some wars will stop, and I hope others will not start. So awakening is opening our eyes, not literally though. It's a figure of speech when you are awakened to something new. Although you know of this in the past, and there is a development about it. So back to you, Michael.
Thank you very much. And Miriana, you are the next one. If you close your eyes and you hear the term awareness, what came first to your mind, please?
Um, Honestly, I have a conflict when I think about awareness. Um, it depends on if it is awareness of something that I experienced before, or awareness uh, around something new for me. So, in first case, it's a conflict, and uh, in second case, it's curiosity and something connected with expectation around it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Leslie, I haven't seen you here before, but I will ask you the same question. So if you close your eyes, and please do so, what came to your mind if you hear the term awareness?
Hello, everyone. Yes, it's my first time here, but I've been on the LinkedIn group quite
I see.
some few times.
Okay.
Yes. So awareness to me, when I close my eyes, what I'm thinking of is basically becoming aware of oneself, being conscious of everything that you do, the little things that you start to, like your thoughts that turn into actions and your actions become motions. So being aware is like not being aware of everybody else that is within your vicinity, but more being in touch with oneself and to see how you can better yourself to interact with everybody around you. That's what my take on awareness is.
Thank you very much for that. Um, Dr. Ash, please, the same process with you. What you see if you close your eyes and you hear the term awareness?
Well, Michael, actually, thank you very much for having me up, as usual. Leslie was invited by me, and I have a lot of followers who may be joining later sometime. To me, it's about being aware. It's a fundamental aspect of human consciousness that brings about understanding, attention, and mindfulness, should I say. It actually refers to the ability to recognize and comprehend various stimuli or emotions and experiences in both the external environment and in one's own personal or internal state, as I would say. So it's often seen as the first step towards personal growth, as it allows individuals to identify issues, needs, or desires that require attention or change. Now, on a very broad level, I would say that awareness can actually apply to social, cultural, and also environmental issues. For example, social awareness involves recognizing the challenges faced by different communities, including issues like poverty, inequality, and discrimination that I'm fighting against these days. It drives people to take action, advocate for change, or support initiatives that promote justice and equality amongst all human beings and mankind or womankind as such. Similarly, environmental awareness calls attention to the importance of many sustainable practices and the protection of the natural world that we're bothered about. On the global front, I would see our awareness towards climate change, which unfortunately is not being given as much attention by some leaders, world leaders as we know today. And that has been brought up by us as another awareness issue that is being ignored besides the WHO. So you see, like pollution, for example, it's intensifying, and therefore the awareness is there in front of us. It's a key role in motivating people like us to adopt eco-friendly habits and push for policy reforms. So it's our ability, basically, to recognize our thought process and emotions and behaviors, where we as individuals have to reflect on others' actions and understand their motives and regulate their responses. It becomes even more difficult so far as our own emotional intelligence is concerned, and is critical actually for maintaining healthy relationships and making informed decisions. So you see, mindfulness is a practice that is rooted into awareness. It's part of our awareness and has gained widespread popularity due to its proven benefits in reducing stress, something that I fight for my clients to reduce stress and improve their focus by enhancing emotional regulation. By being more present in the moment, individuals are better able to navigate the complexities of daily life. So, to conclude, I would say that awareness is a powerful tool if we use it for personal and also for transforming societies that we live in. It brings about understanding, empathy, and informed decision making, paving the way for positive change on both an individual and collective scale. Thank you very much, Michael, for listening to me.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ash. Pat, you are the last one on the list today. So, what do you see if you close your eyes and you hear the term awareness?
I see the sensory being that I am, and I see the full range of the way in which those senses work and inform me about my environment, my perceptions, how I'm feeling, and how I might express myself. And increasingly knowing these last couple of years, the way in which I can contribute to others by merit of being really alive and awake to that awareness when I step out of my home and out into the world, and being able to contribute. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are having Michael Van Juzit trying to join as well, but there seems to be some issue with the connection, but maybe he will join later. I think that everyone was aware who was watching the inauguration of the current president of the United States, of the gesture which was done by Elon Musk on that event later on. Which is reminding of Nazi Germany and Second World War. And just before this event, I came back and I decided to share again the speech, and I think the greatest speech in film history, delivered by Charlie Chaplin in the Great Dictator movie. And I think that this is what brings awareness. Sometimes there are people who are there, the others understand them as comedians, but in fact, they have a lot of to say. And I am glad that Michael joined us, so I will ask right now Michael, immediately after joining. Michael, if you close your eyes and you hear the term awareness, what came first to your mind, please? And I'm not sure if you are already answering, Michael, but we cannot hear you. There is probably some issue with the microphone, which we had before as well. So,
Mr. Rada,
yes,
apologies. I do not see him between participants. I just see. So that is the reason why we
I see.
cannot.
I see. Because I see him. He has a second one, but for whatever reason, we cannot do. But we will continue. And Michael, if you are accessible, let us know by speaking. Charito?
I see him too.
Yeah. Charito, I am coming back to the speech of Charlie Chaplin, which for me, it's really unbelievable speech, especially if you understand in which year it was created and delivered, which was during the Second World War. Do you think that the awareness of a situation can be spread across, let's say, big number of people, or the awareness should be spread by one? So means what is, it's very hard to define the question. So I will reformulate. What do you think make us aware of a change which is, let's say, so important that it will impact everyone on the planet?
Oh, that's a huge question, very deep. Actually, Michael, let me start with the word awareness. So you want everyone to be aware of something that has an impact on the world. And yet you started on what about the inauguration of Trump in America. You see, I have to be honest with everyone here. I was not I was not watching that because it does not concern me. It does not concern our country. But Elon Musk, probably I have to be concerned about him because he is putting a huge business here in my country, but it was about Trump. So I shied away from it. I don't like politics in other countries. I might as well stay put in mine. And you see, if we want to be aware, my question is, what do we mean by awareness here? If it's about politics, do we not have our individual politics? To each country his own. So that would be their problem. But if it, in case of it, it carries through the other countries, like those countries which have wars, then we have to be aware. But what you're talking, because you started on Trump, Elon, and Charlie Chaplin. I know that Chaplin is a genius. He's talking about the world. In fact, he was so visionary with what he really, was talking about before. And right now, if you're talking about awareness, like your this industry 5.0, then we have to try to gather our wits, gather our resources, gather people so that these people will know. It's like we're going to crawl like crabs, from one place to another in order to reach these places. It's like a turtle that even it's slow, it gets to the end at the end of the day. So when we talk about awareness, let's be aware. Let's be honest. Let's be direct to it. What is it we're going to be aware of? If it's politics, I would say this. I'm not ashamed to say this, that it doesn't matter. It does not concern me about the US. To be honest, I'm concerned about my own country. But if it's about relationship between countries in the long run, maybe I'm talking not just, I'm aware of what's happening in the world, but then we first need to be aware of our own. We start in our own country. We start in our own home, in our environment and the places we live. We try to be aware of what's happening in the world and what is there for us to do. So that this, when it trickles down to everybody in that same country, then what we might be able to stand. And we don't need the US to, to hold a hand on us. Although I would say that I am not a selfish person. In fact, I would like our people to go outside, and earn them there everywhere. And it's a fact that so many countries around the world need our workers, our medical workers, and all that. So, Michael, if you are going to ask me, how do we go about telling people or trying to help uh, inculcating the minds of people, the awareness of how the world goes. I would connect it to what you are saying in the first place. You connect it to the politics in the US and what Charlie Chaplin is saying. So I would say this first, show me the right question, ask me the right question. How? No, no, there's no wrong or right question, but at this precise moment, I would like to have, the target, the words that you need have me answered, because if we're talking about awareness, we're talking about 8 billion people in the world. And these people are not focused or are not contained in one country. There are 190 plus countries in the world. Awareness in its own country and being good at it, be so well versed and making your own country productive, successful, and all that. Then that's the time for us to be doing our best, to be holding our neighbors, touching our neighbors in the back, so to speak. So back to you, Michael. I hope you understand what I mean here.
Yes, yes, I do. And I will have another question for you in the next round, be sure.
Sure.
Uh, Mariana, a special question for you. Do you think that the humans can be without awareness?
Yes, Michael, I think that humans can be, and some of them are completely unaware. It is because they don't understand, they don't have knowledge, they don't have openness, or whatever is the reason. But yes, I think it exists.
Thank you very much for the answer. Leslie, I feel from your answer that you are a really deep thinker. And my question to you is, do you think we as humans are born with awareness? Or is it something which we have to learn during our life?
Michael, on that point, I'd say if you look at people becoming aware most of the times, like all the great writers and all the people that had like great impact in the world used to always say, you first learn through the first 40 years of your life, and after that, you actually start to live. But I think that question, to go back to the question, is I think we're born with a little sense of awareness, but we actually, as we go through life, we start honing in on that and then start mastering it. So in the Middle Ages, or maybe in your 40s or something, people actually tend to start to become aware, because you first have to fix yourself to know that there's a problem around you. But like the previous question, I don't know who was answering. It is also a very a dangerous place to stand on if you are not aware, because people tend to do things that harm other people and they don't know, and they just play in the ignorance. So that's also another thing that I think is a issue.
Thank you very much for the answer. Dr. Ash, I have here you not only as a member of a Pakistani society and expert, but the owner of an institute. And institute means education. Which share of the education have the teaching of awareness? Is there anything like that in the education system?
Yes, I believe so, Michael. In the sense that, you see, when you talk about an institute, I teach at universities also at the same time as my own institute of learning, which is actually for professional studies, and where we actually go very deep into research. It's all research-based knowledge, and we have an institute for MPhils and doctorates. And it's a question of making people aware, like something what Sharito had just mentioned. I would like to widen the scope of understanding, probably because I've been around the world and I've understood different people of different religions, different cultures, different regions, should I say, and different languages. So therefore, like to me, my institute is where so many people get together, and they are interested in my institute. Why? Because they know me personally, through not only being in this country, Pakistan, but also having been around the world, where people can join in and actually uh, change their sphere of knowledge on a wider front, and bring about an awareness uh, with a combination of understanding that they didn't understand before. Something that is like a child is born to be suddenly aware of a mother or a father. So it's not just a question of being born into an animal world, but it's a question of having the ability to talk, uh, to widen the scope of your knowledge, and in fact, even pass it on. And that is why, like you are into Industry 5.0, and that is why we thought about the Foundation for World Peace, uh, where we had actually analyzed how things were going, and we were heading towards World War III. And that's why I would not like to only have my own ability to think only within my own country, but beyond borders, where I would like humanity at large to be able to come together and bring about understanding, where poverty is eradicated, borders are broken down, so that everybody has equal justice, there is no starvation, and people are at peace with each other. Thank you very much, Michael, for that question.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ash. Pat, you are here not only as a mother of geology or a nurse with many years of experience, you are here as an artist as well. And I mentioned Charlie Chaplin, who was artist. And my question to you, when you start new painting or you start new work, new preparation of whatever, which share of this in this process have the awareness? Because many pictures, including this great movie of the great dictator, are produced to wake up the awareness, to really struck everyone who see it, who touch it, who feel it, who listen to it. How big share is it for you, the awareness in your work?
I'm not quite sure what you mean with my art in all its different forms comes out of me as a result of my encounters with humanity. So there's something in the landscape, people landscape mainly, that influences, touches me, inspires me, perhaps even incites anger or irritation, stirs me in some way, and an idea to express that comes through. And all of my art in all its different forms is all based on a story. And it's usually a story of recovery or enhancement or growth, empowerment, or even sadness. And I think it's through that I get so much feedback. People say to me, I wish I could perceive as well as you do. I wish I could see what you can see. I wish I could feel and express how I feel in the way that you do. And I think as I do all my expressing, then other people can also pick up on the ideas, see how they might express differently, or even just shift perceptions. They may have had a thought about something, and as a result of something I've created, they will say, well, I wouldn't have thought that until I looked at that. And I wouldn't have known. I look at that piece of art now in a different way as a result of your sharing the story. So I'm very concerned with all the AI that's being created, that we will lose touch with our capacity to link into and express, I call it full self-expression, because I think a lot of AI has the capacity to have us become lazy and not access the genius and creative expression that comes from our heart and soul and our mind. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Livia, I am not sure if you have been on the LinkedIn events before. I do not remember, sorry. But let me ask you the very first question, which I asked at the beginning of the event. If you close your eyes, Livia, and you hear the term awareness, what came first to your mind, please? And you have to unmute yourself, Livia. Still muted? I will, if you will be able to unmute yourself, Livia, or if you would like to be, yes, we can hear you right now, Livia.
Yes. Hello to all. I am sorry, I was not in the beginning, so I don't know exactly what did you ask?
I am asking what came to your mind if you hear the term awareness?
Hmm. Uh, uh, Hardly to express all what I mean. Mm, I think first of all, to me, is knowing about life, about why are we here alive, and what want we to do in our life, and how to how to how to do all what we want to achieve. And first of all is to be healthy, to stay healthy, because if is our life longer, so we have more possibilities, and more possibilities to make what we want to do easily. I don't know.
Oh, it's enough.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. If you can mute yourself again, we will continue.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. And I have to tell everyone we have 7.5 minutes left, so it's not too much time. And Charito, as I promised, I came to you. You are in the real estate, and when the people came to you, they are aware that they will spend a lot of money on a new home, we can say. Is there anything which you will say they are aware of, not only the price, but whatever it is, that they are buying this new property? Is there anything like that?
What do you mean? Can you direct your question,
Yes.
Michael?
If if the people look only for the price of the property or something different, because they are aware, for example, it will be my home for the rest of my life.
Oh, we know that the three basic necessities in life is food, shelter, and clothing, right? So, in every person in this world needs food, clothing, and shelter. So, people, when they get to that point where they're working and they can afford to buy one, and even those who don't cannot afford to buy one, has that in his mind first and foremost. I need a roof over my head. So they work everywhere in the world in flow and place and try, put into loans just so they will have a roof over their heads. So that is the number one consideration, Michael. And then the second, then when they sit down, is it enough for us just to need a roof over our head? It must be something that we can afford, we can repay in 10 or 20 years. Or is this what kind of roof or house or residence will that be? That one which is to our liking, that one which is we can afford within our means, and that one where we can grow with our children. Usually those who buy from us are the starters, one who graduated from college and they wanted to stand on their own, those who have started getting married and they don't have children yet and they want to prepare for the kids, and those are one of the reasons. So price and everything forms part in that thinking. I think it's a rounded, it's a world, a new world in itself, having a roof over your head. And there are people who buy because they're given gifts by by their parents, and when they are really affluent and they have plenty of money. Others buy that because they wanted to sell, make it into business, and they buy and sell and all that. So many reasons, Michael. But at the end of the day, the first and foremost consideration is that they need something. They need a concrete roof over the head where they can go home and rest at night and then go back to their work at daytime. Will that be Enough, Michael?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. And let me ask you today the last question because we have 4.5 minutes left. Dr. Ash, I have a very special question. I have asked you whether awareness is part of the education, but it is not probably not in every school. What do you think will be the main lecture which you will recommend everyone who is not sure whether he or she is aware? So, what is the right lecture to start with to learn about awareness?
Well, frankly, to my mind, Michael, that's a very good question because I would always say learning never stops. Because we are short of time, I will quickly like to mention that I had invited Livia and Leslie and some others also. But it's a question of making people aware, for example, that you are there, that a person like you from a different world, a different country, is also part of our community. And it's a question of making people understand basically that we are all part of the same world. And in that awareness that we're talking about today, I believe in passing the message on through my students to reach out to the rest of the world. And most of them are settled all over the world. To reach out to the rest of the world and tell them that we are all aware that they are in um, good or bad conditions, and that we understand them perfectly well also at the same time, and that we feel for each other. That is the main thing that I'd like to say. Thank you very
Thank you.
much, Michael.
Thank you very much. And I would like to thank you all because we have only 2 minutes left. And let me not only thank you, but let me welcome you or invite you to the next Power of Touch event, which will take place next Wednesday at the same time, 12 o'clock Central European time. I cannot tell you the term, but I can tell you it will be same interesting as it was today. But what I would like to say, I would like everyone to listen to this Charlie Chaplin speech, to the whole one, because I listened to it today, just before this event again, and I hear it for 50 times already, I'm not sure. I was so surprised how accurate it matched the current situation and development in the world. He speaks about machines, he speaks about machine minds and machine people. I was listening and the tears go down my cheek because it is so, so powerful. And it's so narrow with the work which you do, Dr. Ash, with the Foundation of the World Peace and Education, with everyone's work, with Miriana's experience. I'm sure every single one of us has something to share. So let meet us again and again, recording our thoughts and sharing it with the others, because it helps to wake up the awareness all across the globe. We have YouTube, let's use it. We will do it. And until then, have a nice time, free of waste and wasting in all its forms. Stay safe, be free, and please.
People change.
Yes, remain
Michael.
human. Remain human. Exactly,
Thank
Charito.
you.
Let's create a people change as it was
Yes.
done in 70s and 60s and so on. We do it virtually, but we will be humans representing it by our action and our behavior. Thanks a lot and see you next time at the same time at 12 o'clock time. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you very much, Michael. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ash, Leslie,
you all.
Thank you,
Majana,
Sharito.
and
Bye-bye, everyone.
everyone. Good
Bye.
evening.
Good evening, good day, and have a really great time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.